Okay, let's do another connection vid. I kind of promised it to one of my regulars here. He got on one of my older videos as he's going through them and asked a couple of questions, and I know I've got a partial point of it in another video that I could probably track down, and I'm not even sure it says Statue of Liberty on it. Actually, it was just me going off in left field and making connections. Like quite often I do, my videos don't have everything that's inside it on its original title. But let's try to make some connections here between the Statue of Liberty and the ancient goddess known as Ishtar. And then we could take another step back and say it's Inanna. And then in a broad sense say that it is also Venus, and so on. And there actually was a goddess, Libertas, by the Romans. Did you know that the maker of this statue were the French, and that originally it was going to go to Egypt as being a representation of the liberty that they had, and through their goddess that they had, known as Isis, which also is a connective to the idea of Ishtar or Inanna, and so on. But then the Americans got it, and they decided to put it to our port of call that's here, because everybody used to come in at the New York harbor in that way. Kind of interesting whenever you look into the whole history of it and how that it came about, and how this Lady Liberty came about that's here. But a lot of people don't know that, again, Frederick Bertholdt was the man who made it in France in 1885, but that it originally, even in its conception, had connections through the Freemasons to this idea of Inanna and Ishtar, and it's the reason they wanted to utilize it in the first place. And America decided to take it because of what symbology they could put onto it with this Lady of Liberty, showing you a new liberated form of America that was different than anybody else had going on, and it literally changed the world. And then after that point, they had the Revolutionary War, but then they ended up having the Industrial Revolution, leading up to the modern computer age, and gone to the moon and spacemen now and things like that. And a lot of it was brought about for this liberty that we had in America versus all these societies that had been pent up with all these ideas. Although we can look at now in America and realize we're starting to get quite pent up in this idea of late capitalism, swelling of certain things. We tried to keep it under check somewhat, but there's an issue there. Let's just continue and show you connections between Statue of Liberty and Ishtar. Again, Libertas is a Roman goddess, so it has connections to all of these goddesses from before, and you can even see her appearance in that last picture. It looks like it, but most people wouldn't know that it goes all the way back to, well, what they called Ishtar, which is Ishtar, which is a lady deified in a star, and that star is Venus. And because it makes two little peekaboos there, one's right before the sun goes down and one's right before the sun goes up, it's looked at an idea that she's a goddess of love, but then can also be goddess of war. So liberty can mean two different things here, especially if you're an Englander trying to control this colony of America, and they've got this staunch idea against you. Liberty doesn't necessarily come that way. Just like the Liberty Lady that was shown in the French revolutions with her Phrygian cap and a tit hanging out, letting the people know what they were fighting for. But she's seen in a lot of these effigies holding light and situations like that, and it makes connections. Here she is with her ancient star and Master of the Beast idea and concept like that too, but also this is known as the inspiration through the filter of time to Libertas of the ancient Romans. And that's only about 5th century BC that even starts to come out, but it originally comes from this Isis idea or Inanna idea that it's shown of the ancient Babylon people and even slaves that were in ancient Rome and so on played the Libertas for liberty. So there's a lot of symbology in this Statue of Liberty that we have, and people notice it as being the same symbol as like Columbia, the ancient movie opening where you saw a lady standing there with a torch carrying it. A lot of people don't know that again is the symbology of that same person, which leads back to a time of Inanna and perhaps even before. The Statue of Liberty means a lot to a lot of people, still to this day. Peace.